Hello. Welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranch. Today I will be giving you the Capper Comparison Picks for early prelim fights for UFC Vegas 51. Yeah, I think it's 51, I'm pretty sure. So, first, before I get into this, I want to quickly go over how I did last week in UFC 273. Not a bad outing. As you guys probably know, I didn't cover every fight with a Capper comparison pick. I did like all the prelims, and I think I did maybe a couple of the main card fights, but I didn't go over the. I should have, but you know, I'm a busy guy. Work is priority before YouTube content. But anyway, I fared pretty well overall. I'm going to quickly go through how I did. I went 8-4 as a total, and my 4 losses, 2 of them were robberies, in my opinion. So take that for what you will. Started out the show pretty good. I had Julio Arce, he beat Daniel Santos. I picked that by decision. Nailed it. But then I messed up and I had Kay Hansen, which I guess I'll have to fade her from now on out. But Kay Hansen, that was my first loss. She lost to Piera Rodriguez. Then I took, I don't even know if these are the right order. I'm going by what the order I wrote them. I think maybe though. Then I took Anthony Fluffy Hernandez to get a decision win over Josh Fremd. He did, thankfully. So that came through for me. Then I picked Alexei Oleinik. Congratulations on his 60th win, his 47th submission, where he submitted Jared Vanderaa rather quickly in round 1, like a pro that he is. I did foresee that coming, and I did place that prop bet, and I did cash in on it. Thank you. Fashion Cold Wars was, hopefully Fashion Cold Wars from Friday night's little live stream. I hope you changed your bet as well. He was on the side of Vanderaa, and I was like, why? He's like, oh, the youth and all that, but I hope you changed your bet because, I knew Alexei Vanderaa is just, he's not good. He's not. I hate to talk smack about UFC fighters because they can probably all beat me, but Vanderaa is not UFC caliber. Okay, then moving on, I picked Mark Madsen by decision. Came through for me against Vince Pichel as predicted, so right now I'm doing great, okay? Then I picked Mike Malott to beat Mickey Gall. I didn't think he was going to knock him out, but he did. I did pick him though, and I think I picked him by decision, but he managed to KO Mickey Gall in the first round. Then he gave his whole he gave his money to, like, he has got a friend or a coach or somebody that has a 15-year-old daughter was diagnosed with cancer. Horrible. But the good guy Mike Malott he donated $10,000 toward that after the victory there. Then I took I was on the fence with this the whole time. Aspen Ladd or Raquel Pennington. I was back and forth. I ended up making a bet on both of them, but my Tapology pick is the one I have to stick with, I guess. And I chose an Aspen Ladd, regretfully, because Raquel Pennington did get the victory there by decision. Aspen Ladd was acting kind of all shocked when she didn't get her arm raised at the end, but Pennington did, I think, clearly win that. At least 2 rounds to 1. Aspen Ladd might have had a close round, but I don't even know about that. I don't know. Raquel was just better there. So that was one that I got wrong, and I'll admit I got that one wrong. Okay. Then I had Ian Gary taking Darian Weeks out. I did pick by decision. Fashion Cold Wars, BC Dave can vouch. I said I got Gary by decision at plus 190. Thankfully, he came through before the line dropped a little bit, I think, before the fight time. Then I had my first robbery. I had picked Tisha Torres over Mackenzie Dern, and Mackenzie Dern got the decision victory. So I got it wrong, but I think I was robbed a little bit on that. I mean, I suppose you could see one way how it could have went the way of Mackenzie Dern, but I don't think so. I think Tecia Torres outstruck her, outperformed her. She managed to not get submitted on the ground. It was kind of like Marina Rodriguez somewhat. I don't know, but I think Tecia Torres should have got the decision there. She didn't, though. Mackenzie Dern came out victorious. So there's another, my third loss of the night now. 2 female fights, too. Then, of course, I had Khamzat, but I propped him for a knockout, and it went to decision. Good on you, Gilbert Burns. Those of little faith had no faith in Gilbert Burns' last decision, but showed he is a comparable fighter, and he managed to be the first fighter to take Khamzat to decision. Good on you, Gilbert Burns. I appreciate that. But so I got that one correct, and then Aljo and Piotr Jan, man, I did hedge bet Aljo, but I would have made so many more hundreds. I had Jan as the pillar, the final parlay piece for a 10-fight parlay, which I had perfect all the way to that fight. He just had to win, and my small $10 bet would have paid out $400. But Aljo got the decision, which, I think that one was a robbery too, personally. I do see Aljo did control him like rounds 2 and 3 with the, took his back and played that thing, but I think I would have gave rounds 1, 4, and 5 to Piotr Jan, and even Dana said something after the fight, saying something like the judges were wrong. He said something like that. I agree. That's Sal D'Amato. I don't even know how he's still done. Is he like? Does he get also paid from the bookies? Does he get paid from Vegas as well? Because he's the one. He's the one that messes everything up, and yet they keep him on payroll as a judge. He's paid to make those robbery decisions. Unreal. Then finally, everybody in the world, except for some hardcore Koreans, had Alexander Volkanovski against Chan Sung Jung. Well, hardcore Koreans and Dev the Dude also picked Chan Sung Jung. But I did hedge bet Chan Sung Jung on just a lotto ticket, but everybody knew that Volkanovski was going to outclass him, was a much faster fighter, and took care of business against Chan Sung Jung. So 8-4 overall, not bad. I would like to do that every week. I would be happy with that because I did come out, I would say probably $400 ahead when I wrap it all up. But like I said, if Piotr Jan won, I would have been probably $1,200 ahead because I had him not only in that 10-fight parlay on BetOnline, I had him in a DraftKings parlay, like a 6-fighter parlay piece. Because it was the co-main, I had him being the final leg of several different parlays. I play in like 4 different books because Jazz Sports, that guy calls me. He's like, "Hey Randall, I'll give you a $20 cash bonus for 20% cash bonus for any deposit you make right now." I was like, "I don't like the rollover." He's like, "I'll cut it, make a 3-time rollover." So Jazz Sports, so I deposited some money, got my rollover cash or my bonus cash. But that I'm up. I doubled my money in Jazz Sports. Caesars, that's the William Hall one or whatever you want to call the William Hall book. William Hill, I think. So the Caesars book, I didn't. That was the one I make a lot of my hedge bets on that. So I did come out above, but it wasn't that great. DraftKings, that's where I made most of my money. I started out with 200 and something. When I finished the night, I was up at 800 something. That was fantastic. And finally, BetOnline. Jan parlay is the one that messed up BetOnline. So BetOnline, I did the poorest, and that's the one I put the most bets in. But they're all parlays on BetOnline. All parlays. It's all parlays everywhere, pretty much. Parlays and prop bets. The prop bets, I usually do it through BetOnline and DraftKings as they're in the back, punching the bags, getting ready to come out. That's when I make my prop bet. And after my last look, I'm like, look at these guys. I look at both opponents because they show them in the back, and that's when I'm like, all right, I'm going to take, for example, I'm going to take let's see, which would prop. Oh, I'm going to take Mark Madsen. I think he's going to win by decision. That's when I placed that bet. But anyway, 8-4, not bad. I'll do that every week. Okay, so let's get into UFC Vegas 51. As you guys can see, I am I'm out in a hotel room, so I'm on the road for work. So I'll be using a travel board today. Okay, so bear with me. Hope you guys can see this well. I really don't know. I'm not in my home with my regular floorboards. I just got the travel board. But anyway, let's get into this. Opening up the card, according to Tapology, last time I checked, it's going to start out with the heavyweight fight with these two light heavyweights going up heavyweight between Devin Clark, the Brown Bear, and William Knight. Nightmare William Knight. I'm probably led to believe that this is now a heavyweight fight because the last time William Knight fought against Maxime Grishin, he missed weight by 12 pounds. That was kind of embarrassing, I'd say. 12 pounds, that was a record. That's a record of missing weight, the worst. Before that, it was like a Rafael Alves missed by 10 pounds where he cried on the scales. But yeah, William Knight missing by 12 pounds. Yeesh. So that's why this is actually, it should be a light heavyweight fight, but these guys are both bumped up to heavyweight just so William Knight can stay fat. But Devin Clark here, big favorite, minus 180 according to BetOnline. Devin Clark is 12-6, and he's coming off a loss to Ion Cutelaba. Let's talk about Devin Clark a little bit. Devin Clark's fighting out of the Next Edge Academy. That is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Devin Clark does have a little bit of frame, a little bit of height and reach advantage here over Nightmare William Knight. Okay, Devin Clark's last 5. I knew that handle was going to break. It does every damn time. But Devin Clark, the Brown Bears, coming off that loss to Ion Cutelaba. Not a bad loss to have, I guess. Cutelaba, the Hulk. All right. Prior to that was unanimous decision. Prior to that, he had a loss to Anthony Lionheart-Smith. Also, not a bad loss to have. You know, everybody's a fan of Anthony Lionheart-Smith. Prior to that, he had a win against Alonzo Menifield. That is a common opponent. Both these guys beat Alonzo Menifield by unanimous decision. We'll get into William Knight after this. But prior to the Alonzo Menifield, Devin Clark beat Daquan Townsend. No longer in the UFC, but when he was in the UFC, he was middling. He was like a known name throughout the division. Then before that, he lost to Ryan Spann via guillotine round 2. Now let's talk about William Knight. William Knight, the Nightmare William Knight. 18 pounds was his last weight. This dude is massively strong. I guess I read something. He bench pressed 496 pounds. I don't know why they just didn't add 4 pounds to make it, make it even 500. But I guess he pretty easily bench pressed 496 pounds. That blows me away. That's phenomenal. I remember when my senior year of high school, I wrestled against this kid from Amsterdam, which is, I went to a smaller high school. Amsterdam's like a Division I school in New York State. I went to Johnstown. It's like a Class B, Class D2, D3, like depends on the sport. But I remember this kid could bench press like 420 pounds. He's like massive. But same weight class, 100 and 167, I think it was that year, my senior. And he destroyed me. He got me in the head and arm right away because I was gonna go shoot the legs, but he stopped me. He did an over-under, got the over-under hooks in, punched his arm through, grabbed me in the head and arm, hip tossed me onto the floor, and pinned me. Like 30 seconds in the first period, embarrassed me. I stood up, my headgear was twisted so bad that I had the cups, not the halo, the old style, with the 2 cups. They're purple, as our colors, purple and gold. I had the cups and the straps over. By the time he let me up, when I was, the one cup was right here, like on my face. Oh, it was such an embarrassment. It was in Amsterdam too. I'll never forget that loss. I'll never forget. His name was Ralph some Italian name, Giavento or some shit. But yeah, the dude embarrassed me my senior year. And it was like the first wrestling match of my senior year. I was hyped up. I'm like, oh, I don't care how much else. But strength does play a part when it comes to wrestling and throwing big bombs. And William Knight, hopefully it'll work in your favor. But it does, having that muscle mass does also suck your cardio. So it's those bigger muscles, the more oxygen you need. There, you know, the whole deal. The further it goes into the fight, the less oxygen your blood pumps through because you're tired. And usually the leaner, thinner guy has a little bit more cardio. And Devin Clark, remind you, is a 206 pounds last time I checked. Anyway, William Knight had that loss. Maxime Grisham, unanimous decision. Maxime took the fight, even though William Knight was 12 pounds over. Whatever, it didn't matter. Before that, he had his win against Alonzo Menefield, which I thought I gave I picked Menefield to win, and I think he should have won. He showed a little bit better wrestling, I think Menefield did, but it was kind of a boring fight. A lot of hug fucking, like wrestle fucking, hugging against the cage and on the ground, and nothing really doing. But no one could get really big shots off. But William Knight did connect with a couple shots early. I think that's why the judges remembered that and gave him the nod. But that was a unanimous decision for William Knight. Prior to that, he counter left hook, took out Fabio Charant, the Water Buffalo. Took him out. I think that was Fabio Charant's UFC debut too, though. Took him out round 1 with a counter left hook. Prior to that, though, he did lose to Da Un Jung, the big Korean boy. Da Un Jung out-wrestled him. Took him down with ease whenever he wanted. Whenever he wanted, Da Un Jung came out, took him out, and got the unanimous decision victory there. William Knight made his UFC debut against Alexa Kamer, however you want to say it, where he won a unanimous decision. So William Knight, 3-2 in his last 5, not that bad. Remember, the dude bench presses 500, he squats 585, I guess, with ease. So what I read was he did these phenomenal weight tests, like the bench press and the squat, with ease. He didn't even, like, he maybe let out a grunt. I didn't physically see it, but I read it. It's in Tapology. Scroll down his page, it'll say something about it. But William Knight fighting out of Thornton Martial Arts, Hartford, Connecticut. That's where he calls home, against Brown Bear Devin Clark. Let's see what the cappers have to say. I know I'm sitting, but and it feels weird because I'm usually standing up to do these. But if I stand up, I think my head gets cut off, as it does, and so I don't want you to just see my mouth. So that's why I'm gonna sit and do this, which is, it's not bad. It's a little kind of comfortable. So, but let me do this. Devin Clark minus 180. William Knight plus 155. If you want to pick the power, you're going to get a little bit of plus money. But let's see what these cappers have to pick in this fight. Starting with the favorite, taking Devin Clark, we've got MMA Pick'ems podcast. That is Ray, and he's saying by decision. Oh yeah, I gotta switch markers. This one's shit. This one's a shitty one. Okay. Then we've got taking William Knight. Artem MMA Analysis. This marker works much better. Out of New Zealand. He's got William Knight by the KO. He thinks he will find that connection and connect with a nice knockout against Devin Clark. Devin Clark, if he does take a hit from William Knight, he probably will be able. I don't know, because he might have the power, but does he have the speed? If he comes with an overhand left, oh, be careful, Brown Bear. Then jumping back over Devin Clark, we've got the Stat Diggers, DFS and Wheezy. DFS, Brady is definitely on him. Wheezy, he's leaning that way. He didn't really come out and say that's his pick, but DFS is saying by decision for Devin Clark. Devin Clark will be the better wrestler. I think what's going to happen personally, a lot of the same of what happened with the Da Un Jung versus William Knight fight. Then I'm jumping back. We've got Angelo from We Want Picks. Angelo was a manager for fighters. He even mentions a bunch of the fighters he used to manage. The links for these guys will be in the description, but the Wi-Fi here sucks ass. For real, this hotel, the Wi-Fi is shit. It took me forever just to get background music on. I swear to goodness. And it's a shared Wi-Fi signal throughout the entire hotel. So this might have the descriptions might have to come in tomorrow, but the descriptions will, or the links will be in the description. I promise you that. Eventually, maybe a little late though. Then for the tiebreaker, we've got Johnny from Tiger Bomb. Tiger Bomb MMA is usually Johnny and Jose. Jose not feeling well, so Johnny did it solo. And Johnny is on the side of Devin Clark, the Brown Bear. And he thinks Devin Clark should get it done. How? By decision. So we got 3 cappers to 2 taking Devin Clark. I think the 2 cappers taking William Knight are taking him by knockout. Angelo really didn't say. Artem did, and also this is Artem's quick early picks. These aren't his definite breakdown. He did zero research. He's just going off pulling these off his hip. You know what I'm saying? So to keep that in mind, my pick here, I'm gonna go with the wrestling edge of Devin Clark. I think the line should be a little bit closer. Minus 180 seems a little steep. I think it should be more like maybe a minus 140 at the most, even 130. I think William Knight does. I think there's a lot of recency bias because of that 12-pound weight miss, and he's just kind of like you can foresee what he's going to do, and that's the power punches. So if you can avoid the power punches, you can take this guy down, and he doesn't have really fast get-up game or anything. So I'm going to go with Devin Clark, the Brown Bear, getting it done here. I think he's going to get a bunch of control time and volume in punching because he was going to be a little bit faster, I think. The only word William Knight has him beat in strength, but that's about it. I would give cardio, speed, fight IQ, all that to Devin Brown Bear Clark, and that's why I think he's going to get the decision victory. So there you have that. Moving on. Next we have the lightweight fight between Trey Ogden and Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King. Jordan Levitt comes in 9-1 as a professional. He's a slight underdog, plus 110. Trey Ogden comes in at 15-4 as a pro fighter. Slight favorite, minus 130. Let's talk about Trey Ogden first, since he is the favorite. You wouldn't know it, but Trey Ogden is coming in short notice. I mean, you might know it, but he comes in short notice. He's coming off 4-1 in his last 5. Not bad, but this is his UFC debut because his last fight was in FAC, or no, Fury FC. Dana White's looking for a fight. I love those guys that come out of that looking for the fight tournament. Trey Ogden coming off a win against JJ Okanovich, arm triangle, round 2. That was in that looking for the fight. Prior to that, he was in FAC, Fighting Alliance Championships. That's a Missouri scene over there. A lot of good fighters come out of that. Where he beat Cody Carrillo, rear naked choke, round 1. Pretty good look. Prior to FAC, he does have fights in Ultimate, Blue Corners, and LFA. A notable victory he does have in LFA is against the wrestler in TJ Brown. You guys probably remember TJ Brown. Maybe a month ago he fought, and he did win, I do believe. Trey Ogden trains out of Glory MMA, and be careful, he is a BJJ black belt. Black belt, okay? He's also got the 2-inch height advantage. Only a half-inch reach, that's nothing, but slight height advantage over Monkey King Jordan Levitt. Now Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King, you guys know he can do the flamboyant, phenomenal splits. He's very showtime, like he's very flashy when it comes to his after his wins. He does the split. He's like very flamboyant. You want to say somewhat a little bit feminine on the feminine side, but he does have a child with a woman that he biological father of a child, so it's kind of weird there. But Jordan Levitt, nonetheless, coming off a win against Matt Sales, where he got the inverted triangle round 2, so you know Jordan Levitt got some BJJ. Matter of fact, he's 9-1, all but 7 of his 9 fights are via his 9 wins are via submission. The other 2 by decision. He has the 1 loss against Claudio Puelles. That's my boy, Claudio Puelles. He's my man crush in the UFC, like BC Dave likes Ortega. I used to be on Kyler Phillips, but now I'm a Claudio Puelles guy. But anyway, I know it's so weird. Anyway, that's Jordan Levitt's only loss. Prior to that, in his UFC debut, he beat Matt Wyman. He slammed him. A slam, 22 seconds to the first round. What a good win that is. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it's, hey, 22 seconds against Matt Wyman in his UFC debut. Fantastic. He prior to that, he beat Luke Flores in the Contender Series by arm triangle round 1. And he's had fights in the LFA as well. He trains out of Syndicate MMA. That's Roxanne Modafferi goes there. She's one of my, retired now, but she was one of my favorites. Syndicate, pretty good BJJ place out in Vegas. Jordan Levitt, one-trick pony in a one-horse town. But he is like, he's all he's got is his BJJ, but it is higher level, kind of like Mackenzie Dern. If you wanted like Mackenzie Dern, same shit, same. She's a one-trick pony, BJJ. So there's certain people that's all they can do is like one-trick pony shit. And in this case, Jordan Levitt is he cannot rely on his striking. He is crappy striking on the feet, where Trey Ogden should have the advantage when it comes to the feet. So let's see what the cappers have to say in this fight between Trey Ogden, no nickname, and the Monkey King Jordan Levitt. Okay, so taking Trey Ogden. Let's see, I might as well just move this here, right? We've got the Stat Diggers, both Wheezy and DFS, taking Ogden to get it done. Then we've got, for Levitt, we've got Johnny from Tiger Bomb. He's saying submission for Levitt, round 1. You know what's crazy? When Levitt, I follow Jordan Levitt on Instagram. I don't know. It's just I like the hype. I mean, I don't follow everybody, but for some reason Levitt is entertaining. I find him entertaining. That loss to Puelles, he showed like a little Instagram, they have a little, like a GIF, like just a 3-second, and it just showed his face getting buried into Claudio Puelles' crotch, which is, it's just so cringy, because I don't know, the dude, I think I don't know, his sexuality is a big mystery. It shouldn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's just weird. That's all. It's just weird. Just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, Jordan Levitt, Tiger Bomb, Johnny is thinking Levitt's going to get submission round 1. Okay. Then going back to Trey Ogden, we've got Angelo from We Want Picks. He's also on the side of Trey Ogden to get it done over Levitt. He thinks the striking is going to be... Ogden can hold his own on the ground. Think of it. He's a BJJ black belt fighting out of Glory MMA with James Krause. And what I reckon it to, I don't know why I'm saying that lately, but what I compare it to is I'm thinking when Derek Minner fought Ryan Hall, okay? Derek Minner, also a Glory MMA product. Same with my friend Don Shamus, Shameless Don Shamus, who just won his fight in Franklin, Mass. I remember you guys were on the live stream. He had a fight April 2nd where he TKO'd the guy the first round. But Don Shamus, a friend of mine, also Glory. Don Shamus, just between me and you, he said Derek Minner is kind of a quitter. But anyway, don't spread that around. I don't want to start any quarrels between guys sharing the same gym. But Ogden out of Glory MMA, I think they have enough good BJJ there to verify that his black belt is legit. It's not like a Jared Vandera black belt. You know what I mean? Which I said, Jared Vandera is black belt. He's from Quest out in California, and Ben Henderson's. I don't know where he, but I think Glory MMA, and they, even though Derek Minner lost to Ryan Hall, they did prep him to not get submitted, and his BJJ defense was top notch. Ryan Hall could not find a way to submit the guy, and Ryan Hall's a one-trick pony, very kind of like Levitt, you know, just relies on his BJJ to get the shit done. But anyway, I think Trey Ogden with his black belt may be able to defend off attempts. But then again, Levitt he's a different level of BJJ. But they're both black belts. That's why I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fight. But then jumping back onto the Jordan Levitt side, we have Artem MMA Analysis. He's also saying by submission for Jordan Levitt. So we've got a tie again. And for the tiebreaker, we've got Ray from MMA Pick'ems Podcast. And Ray is going with Trey Ogden. Pretty much for the same reasons I said. He said on the ground, he's comparable enough to defend takedowns and submission attempts. And standing on the feet, he will definitely have the advantage. I'd like to see Jordan Levitt improve his striking, but I have yet to see that. I mean, he's quick to take it to the ground, jump on your back, like I said, one-trick pony. So there you have that. I'm siding also with Trey Ogden here. I think there's more opportunities to win. Levitt, if it does go to the ground, that's when I'm going to be shitting my pants a little bit, be nervous about Ogden, but I think Ogden's going to get it done. I'm going to say by decision here. He's going to have the more volume and striking. I think he might be able to rock Levitt a few times. And similar like Claudio Puelles managed to fend off all submission attempts on the ground and actually do some progression in submission progressions and wrestling against Levitt on the ground. And Claudio Puelles, what is he, Argentinian or something? So I think Ogden will be able to fend off and get the decision victory over Jordan Levitt. Moving on. I've pressed pause now. Moving on. Next, I'm sorry, I had to get the board set. Next, we have the bantamweight fight between Heili Alateng and Kevin Croom. Aletang comes in as the almost 2-1 favorite with a record of 14 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. Taking on the somewhat of a journeyman in Kevin Croom, 21 wins, 14 losses. Kevin Croom comes in as an underdog, plus 158 for the much bigger guy. This is a bantamweight fight. Kevin Croom dropping down from 145. Will be definitely the bigger guy here, and he does have a 6-inch height and 6.5-inch reach advantage. substantial in both ways. Okay, let's start with the favorite in Alateng. Heili Aletang, the Chinese-Mongolian fighter. He fights out of Inner Mongolia, China, which Mongolia is its own separate country, but I guess it says his television is Inner Mongolia, China. Okay, he's actually training out of Fight Ready right now with Henry Cejudo. Actually, there was they showed a picture of on his Instagram with like Hunter Azur, Archilang, Aori, or you know that guy, Archie Lang, and they showed like an Instagram picture with him and like 4 other guys out of Fight Ready, and they're all wrestlers. So you got to think he's been strengthening up his wrestling over at Fight Ready. Okay, the Mongolian Knight is coming off a draw against Gustavo Lopez. Gustavo Lopez, you know, not a bad person to take a draw from, I guess. Gustavo Lopez, good BJJ and Gustavo Lopez. Prior to that, he lost to Casey Kenny by unanimous decision. He beat Ryan Benoit, split decision, so that really could have went either way. Prior to that, he beat Bakary Dana in his UFC debut. It was Heili Alateng's UFC debut against Bakary Dana, however you want to say it. He beat him by unanimous decision. Prior to that, he was in Road FC in China, Chinese regional scene, Road FC, and he beat Jong Hyun Kwak, TKO round 2. Interesting enough, if you guys go on to Tapology and look at Heili Alateng's, look at that Road FC, open the fight card up. It was called the Overweight Heavies. Overweight Heavies, and the main event looked like 2 sumo wrestlers. I swear, I shit you not, 2 big fat boys, big old boys, fighting on the top of that card at Road FC in the Chinese regional scene. It was fantastic. I loved it. I wish I could have. I wish I saw that. I wish I knew the fighters well enough to root for one way or another. But I remember the poster. I was like, look at these tubbies. I'm one to talk, right? But anyway, Heili Alateng. Now I said he's at Fight Ready. He's not out of Team Alateng in Mongolia anymore. Now he's at Fight Ready. Good move there, Heili or Heili, whatever. But he's taking on big Kevin Croom. Kevin Croom, I mentioned 6-inch height, 6.5-inch reach advantage over Heili Alateng. Kevin Croom's fighting out of Glory MMA. Comes in mob deep. James Krause's army coming in mob deep. He used to train out of Lutrell's MMA over in New Mexico, but has since switched camps. Now he's over at Glory. Good move for him as well. Kevin Crash Croom dropping down from 145-pound featherweight to fight Heili Aletang. So the dude's like 5'11". So keep an eye on the scales, because it's going to be a struggle to get down there for a guy with his frame. I'm telling you. So watch. He might be sucked out. He might be very weak. Definitely, if you're on the side of Kevin Croom, double check your shit. Come face-offs, weigh-ins, and face-offs on Friday. He's coming off a loss to Brian Boom Kelleher by unanimous decision. I love Brian Kelleher. Before that, he lost to Alex Caceres, and his UFC debut was he choked out Roosevelt Roberts with a guillotine 30 seconds in round 1, but it was overturned into a no contest because of marijuana, which is bullshit, but whatever, it counts as a no contest in that UFC debut for Kevin Croom. Before that, he was out of the Fighting Alliance Championships in Missouri. I think Krause just feeds that promotional scene with all his fighters, because being in Glory MMA in Missouri, most of those guys do have fights over in Fighting Alliance Championships, FAC, and FAC does also have the Dana White looking for a fight. They do that, so it's a good introduction into like professional fight scene. But Kevin Croom also has fights in Bellator and LFA. So Kevin Croom, 21-14. He's no stranger to the fight game. So this interesting bantamweight fight. Let's see. Starting with the favorite in Heili Alateng, we've got Angelo from We Want Picks. I told you, Angelo knows his shit because he was a manager for, he listed off like five to six fighters, and if you watch his description, all the guys, I'm assuming all the guys that say, like Alexei Oleinik, we want picks, and Robbie Lawler, you watching We Want Picks. He has like in his intro, it's good, it's lit. It's got like all these pros, and I'm assuming who's that? Munoz is in there. Check it out. He's got like pros that are giving an introduction, like welcome to We Want Picks and whatever. I am I'm Robbie Lawler and welcome to We Want Picks. Anyway, I'm assuming all those guys are people that he managed at one point, but I don't think he's managing anymore. Anyway, he's on the side of Heili Alateng here, a very sharp, smart handicapper in Angelo. Okay, and he's only one. He's got a team of them, I guess. He does a live stream show, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday with a couple other guys from the We Want Picks crew. Also taking Heili Alateng, we've got Artem, MMA Analysis. He's saying Alateng should get the decision here over Croom. We've got Ray from MMA Pick'ems Podcast also taking Alateng. And Johnny from Tiger Bomb, he's saying by decision. Oh, by the way, Ray also said by decision. See the trend here? Everybody's saying by decision for Heili Alateng. And if you look at his last five, they have all gone to, not all of them, majority of them. There was a draw against Gustavo Lopez, and then he had split decision against Benoit, or unanimous decision against Bakary. So he is like a decisionator, but he back in the regional scene though in China, he was knocking people out. Kevin Croom on the other hand, no, not on the other hand. Kevin Croom also a lot of decisions in his most recent five. But we do have a contrarian picker. The Stat Diggers was just DFS, and he's not confident, but he is leaning that way. So I'll write DFS lean. Whereas in Wheezy didn't really give his pick on this fight. You can see for yourself. The links will be in the description. But we've got Brady from Stat Diggers also taking Kevin Croom here. And drop cap. And in this fight, I'm gonna also have to go with. I really hate taking all favorites, but I'm gonna have to go with Heili Alateng here, only because Kevin Croom, I think, dropping down from 145 to 135 with such a big frame. I understand he's gonna have the height and reach advantage. Oh, man, he's fighting out of Glory, though. I don't like to go against people fighting out of Glory MMA. I'm not confident at all with this pick, but I'm going to go Heili Alateng. I think he's got a little bit of an edge when it comes to striking. Well, not striking, but wrestling. When it comes to wrestling, and if you watch his, he's out of Fight Ready, which is phenomenal wrestling place. And if you look at his Instagram, he is with 4 or 5 professional UFC wrestling-based fighters. So I think that's going to come into play. I think he's going to have the control time, control the fight where it goes, be able to throw Kevin Croom. Even though Kevin Croom's going to be the taller guy with the more reach, I think Alateng's going to be the stronger guy because Kevin Croom's sucking weight, dropping down 135. Bad look. I think it's a bad move for him, but who am I? I'm just a small runt capper. But I'm going to take Alateng by decision. So there you have it. to recap. Time check. Almost time to hit the hotel bar. But anyway, to recap, I've got Devin Clark beating William Knight by a decision victory. Then I have Trey Ogden beating Jordan Levitt, also by decision, and by more volume and striking value. It's kind of going to be like the Claudio Paulus fight, very similar. And Devin Clark is going to be kind of like the Da Un Jung fight, very similar. And finally, I got Heili Alateng in my least confident pick of the three, getting a decision victory over Kevin Croom, because Kevin Croom's weight cut and Heili Alateng, his wrestling, should be able to get takedowns throughout the fight and score off takedowns and score off control time. So there you have it. Oh, here's the paper. Gather the info. Gather the info. Place your bets and cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching my hotel room follies. The on the road capper comparison picks. I do have another one locked and loaded. So maybe after my late lunch, early dinner, maybe I'll come back up here and do another show tonight. 2-for-1 special, a double dose Monday, where I have the 3 next fights up the card, locked and loaded. They are, Beast Boy Chris Barnett and Martin Boudet. Then girls, I got Lena Landsberg, the Elbow Queen, Pani Kianzad Banzai, and Sam Hughes, Sam Page, and Estela Nunez. So I think I do already have that locked and loaded. I think I might upload and film and upload that later tonight. We'll see, depending on how I feel, depending on how my meal goes after uploading this video. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets, and I hope to see you guys later. Bye.